Hey, Knicks Nation, what's going on? I hope everybody is healthy and safe and that you're enjoying your weekend. Today is Sunday, the 25th day of September 2022. Again, I hope you're healthy and safe. I hope that you are enjoying your weekend and that you and your family are healthy and safe and enjoying your weekend and what's left of it. Today, I wanted to go over a few things. As we know now, training camp begins on Tuesday. I'm assuming they'll probably have a media day on Tuesday, and the Knicks will begin their season. And this is where we're all excited. Now, first of all, let me give salute to New York Knicks Prophecy TV, old school player, Milton Mina, my man. Cash Out James, Superstar Shalom, Carlos Delgado, salute all of y'all. Glad to see y'all today. Malik, my man Malik, peace unto you also, my brother. And so glad to see you. But before we get started on the real stuff, talking about the Knicks, just want to address the Ime Udoka situation from Boston. I put out a video because when it first came out, in terms of what was said, it was about him having sex in his office with a coworker. Now, just in general terms, in terms of corporate America, that kind of stuff will get you fired. You know, corporate America frowns on inter-office relationships, and especially if you're engaged or married and you're high profile and you're having sex in an office of the place that you're employed by, that's not cool. But at that particular point, it wasn't enough of an issue. I felt that would warrant a year suspension. But apparently, since that came out, there's more to this story than we know. And I've heard all kinds of things, but I don't want to myself start to address it until it's officially out in the open and everybody knows what's going on. At this point, I don't like the way the Celtics handled the situation. If they were going to suspend him or if they was going to bring out something, they should have just brought it out. But now it's kind of leaking and it's kind of ugly and it's kind of like rumor and tabloid type stuff. So I just want to wait to see what transpires. And the reason I brought it up is because Ime Udoka is a good coach. And he led the Celtics to the finals this past season. That cannot be denied. So those being the case, if this wasn't as major as an infraction as it might be, if it was a minor, like if it was simply him having sex with the help, that would have been bad, but he'd still coach. But if it's a married woman or somebody in the organization, or if it gets ugly or uglier, or we find out there's been other women, and we don't know. It could get uglier. So we got to wait and see what happens. So, and I was just, at the time, it appeared to me, according to Berman, not one of the three wise men, but according to Mark Berman, and I believed it, that Tom Thibodeau might be on the hot seat if he starts off slow this year. Now, which brings us to what we're here today for. Might have been Friday. I saw it last night, so I don't know. It might have come out Friday night. The Don went on MSG and spoke on the Knicks. Now, again, before we get into it, and again, salute to the chat, to Sean Wilson, my man Ruggs, Mr. Williams, my man Mana Prakash, Franz Germain, King Ribby, Jerry Terville, Hard Stuck Bronze, all y'all. Salute to all y'all. Blessings. Ace of Spade, Dre Hoops, my man J. Cruz, MBIC, what's up? Chauncey Beckett, Jamie Moore, salute Lucas, Andre, and salute to all of you. And Jim Ardino also, my man Andrew Abraham, Stoop Kids Studios. Good to see all of y'all today on a Sunday. Elixir Flow, what's up? Blair, what's up? So before we get into it though, okay. And every time it's unfortunate, but the Knicks' history in terms of the media has brought us to a point where, even though I'm going to tell you the Knicks are in a good spot, they're in an upward trajectory, they're under excellent management, and we're going to talk about all of that. Everything has to be negative first with the media. And because the younger and more recent, like in the last 10, 15 years, fans have only seen that. They've only seen incompetent Knicks management and negative media. They tend to jump on that bandwagon quick. So, I mean, I hadn't actually watched the MSG thing. Like I said, I saw it last night, and then I watched it again this morning, and I was pausing it and taking notes and stuff. And I was listening to some other media, some other content creators, and some other so-called platform people, whatever. And what they will focus on is things that weren't said and things that they wanted to hear that the Don didn't say, instead of focusing on what he actually said. And the reason they do this, brethren, in Knicks Nation, is because they have put out speculation that they want that speculation to be confirmed. For example, there was one knucklehead out here talking about, why didn't he talk about we wanted to trade R.J. Barrett? Well, why would he? He didn't trade R.J. Barrett. He re-signed R.J. Barrett. And of course, Keith Watkins, thank you for the super chat. No question, just a comment. I rank this the best Knick content. Oh my gosh, thank you, Keith Watkins. Praise the Most High. And thank you for your hard work, especially since you were involved out of state move. Keep up the great work. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. I greatly appreciate that. Keith Watkins, 1999 super chat, big time super chat. Thank you very much for that. But first off, they come off with, well, why didn't he talk about he almost traded RJ? You're the president of basketball operations. You're representing the most expensive, the most valuable basketball franchise in the world. And you want to come out and talk about why you're going to trade your young star player? Then, now listen, maybe y'all don't know. Maybe y'all don't know. So let me just break this down for you. It is against NBA rules for any team in terms of the front office and management and executives to discuss any NBA player that is under contract with another team. Let me say it again. It is against NBA rules. Like, you can get fines, you can get draft picks taken away. It is against the league rules for any executive to speak on a player not on their team, not on their roster, under contract with another team. So Alan Hahn comes out with the obvious, as he should have. What about this Donovan Mitchell situation? And the Don answers it as he's supposed to. We cannot speak on a player that's under contract with another team. And then he went further and he said, we decided we're going to stand pat. And let me ask some of y'all, didn't a lot of us, I could say at least, I'd say 50% of Knicks Nation, including myself, we're like, we're not with this trade. Isn't that true? We were saying, like, you know what? Thinking about this, we're not with this trade. And we had different reasons for not being with the trade. Some of us was like, Danny Ainge is asking too much, right? Some of us was like, we like our team while we trying to trade our young players, right? Some of us was like, 2 6'1" guards in the backcourt. I'm not sure about that, right? We had all kinds of reasons why we was like, and then I told y'all, I remember it was like, maybe it was June or July. Some of y'all remember. I said, you know what? Proceed with caution when you're dealing with Jack the Ripper here. Didn't I say that? And I said, why would we proceed with caution? I said, because first of all, he's a rip-off artist, right? And second of all, what he gonna want? And third, even though Donovan Mitchell's really, really good, he's not that dude. He's not that dude to say, okay, I'm gonna act like y'all on steroids and bring y'all to the next level. Not only that, we're not ready for that yet. So we had a lot of reasons for saying, let's back up. So basically, the Don said, yeah, we decided to stand pat and go with what we got, which thrilled, to me, it was thrilled. I was like, this is what I wanted to hear. Yet there were some people that, well, why didn't he just say he couldn't get it done? No, it wasn't about that. Why it got to be negative for us all the time? Keith Watkins, thanks for the 49. You ever think about taking calls for questions? You know what? I do. And I always think about it too late. I'll be honest with you, Keith. I do think about it after the fact. I got too many things on my mind. But I'm hoping that now that we settled in the house and we settled in the move and, I got a new job Friday. Now that everything is settling down, Keith, and thanks again for the 499. Now that everything's settling down, maybe, I could start looking into that because, yes, I have thought about taking calls. I have definitely thought about taking calls. I just, it's so many things. Yeah, I tell you how it was like this. My father moved into an assisted living, independent living facility, and his wife and him, they bought new furniture, right? And I had to take him to the hospital the other day because he hurt his shoulder. So I showed up there and we were getting him ready. And he said, my shoes are in my closet. So I had to walk into his bedroom, go into the closet and get his sneakers and bring him out, put it on for him, right? And so later on, like we went to the hospital, everything is going to be fine, blah, 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 blah. And so his wife said, did you see the new furniture? And I said, what new furniture? See, my mind was on, I didn't even realize they put all new furniture in their house. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even notice it because I was just looking for the sneakers, get my father in this car, get him to the hospital. You know what I mean? So there've been things in my mind. But yeah, to answer your question, Keith, yes, I want to get some sort of phone situation where we could take questions and calls. I just haven't been able to deal with that yet. And I don't, that's all. There's been so much going on. But we should let's focus, I would suggest, on what the Knicks did this summer, what actually happened. And then let's focus on what the Don actually said, okay? So first off, I want to ask you all a question. Let me start off with a question. I can't wait to get into this question right here. I suppose if I'm a good host, I really should wait to the end. But I'm going to ask this question now. There was one player, only one, that was not mentioned in the whole 22-minute interview. There was one player that the Don didn't mention, Alan Hahn didn't ask about, wasn't talked about. Did y'all notice that? We're going to talk more about that. There was one player, and that's right, Evan Fournier was not mentioned, like not talked about, like not discussed. We're going to talk more about that. Okay. Thank you, Carlos. Yes, he's going to be fine. They gave him some anti-inflammatories, and I gave him a little band, one of them little rubber bands to stretch his shoulder a little bit. And I got to take him to the doctor Friday morning, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be good. Yeah. But yeah. So and let me ask you, do y'all think that those of you that heard the interview, do you think that was accidental or on purpose that his name wasn't mentioned? Do you think he was accidental or on purpose? Oh, we're going to talk about the Randle too. Do you think it was accidental or on purpose? Yeah, I think so too. MBIC, I'm with you on that. I think they purposely did not mention him. They purposely did not mention him. Okay? And we're going to talk more about that. So that's the thing that they didn't say to me that was the most significant, that wasn't mentioned, that they didn't bring up Evan Fournier at all. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. Yes, exactly, Keith Watkins. They don't do that stuff by accident, man. That's not by accident. Okay. Now, let's look at the summer. Okay. Now, some of y'all remember, it was most of last year, but it was definitely at the end of last year going into the summer. There were a lot of people speculating whether Mitchell Robinson would be back. Y'all remember that? There was a lot of people speculating, and then there were some of these so-called experts. These guys went behind the ears to me. I see some of these guys just coming out of elementary school, junior high school, or whatever, and thinking they know something about NBA, and they don't. But there was a lot of speculating, well, he's not worth $60 million. He may not be worth $30 million. He's not going to get the contract that the Celtics gave Robert Williams III because he's not that good, blah, 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 right? So there was a lot of speculation as to whether Mitch Rob would be back. That's ended. Mitch Rob is back. And so all y'all talking about he wasn't going to start or Jericho going to take his place. Or no, he's back. $60 million, 4 years, guaranteed. He's back. Okay. And the Don mentioned him a couple of times and said he's in fantastic shape, and they're very excited about what his season going to look like. And you know why? Because of the other guy Don mentioned. So they re-signed Mitchell Robinson. They went out and signed Jalen Brunson. They removed Alec Burks, Kemba Walker, and Nerlens Noel from the roster. That's addition by subtraction. They turned the 11th pick into more picks. Now, some of y'all, including myself, I ain't going to front. Like I said, I would have loved for them to get Mathurin. I like Mathurin. I like Tari Eason. And I think they could have gotten Tari Eason. But I understand what they did. First of all, in terms of the draft, what did they do? They acquired more picks. And what they did is they let the team sit as they are so that they can play themselves out. Because you got a whole bunch of young players. You got a whole bunch of backlogs right here, right? So you got to let them play it out and see who, before you bring in more, you got to see what you could get, right? So there's that. So that's cool. So then the Don mentioned very clearly, where did he say that? They got, look at here, man. The Knicks got 21 draft picks, 21 over the next 7 years. They got 21 draft picks over the next 7 years, 11 number ones and 10 number twos over the next 7 years. And Alan Hahn asked Leon Rose, he said, with all of this draft capital, you can't use all of this draft capital. What are you going to do? And he said, is the door still open for deals? And Leon said, absolutely. We're going to do deals. So something's coming. And what I also liked what he said, they're going to be aggressive, opportunistic, and they're going to develop what they have. Isn't that what we want? So we're in a position so that and I told y'all, what you need to look at is 2 years from now. Don't look at now. Look at 2 years from now. Look at 2 years from now. When you're going to get a bunch of dudes hitting the market that you're going to want. And then in 2 years, guess what? We're going to know what we have with RJ. We're going to know what we have with Mitch Rob. We're going to know what we have with Obi, with IQ, with Grimes. We're going to know what we have. Therefore, we will know, are we going to trade these dudes? They're going to be a permanent piece for us going forward. 2 years. Okay, that's what that type of draft capital does for you. Okay, so we're in really good shape there. Okay, now by name, Rich M. Good afternoon. All right, so by name, the first player. Did y'all notice the first player to come out of the Don's mouth without being asked about it? Did y'all know who the first player? Did you note that? Who was the first player that he mentioned? That the first dude come out of his mouth without being asked? Nope. He mentioned Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin was the first guy. He said Obi, IQ, Grimes, Deuce, Jericho. He mentioned the young because he was emphasizing developing what we have. Then he said, as far as the summer, we re-signed Mitchell Robinson. We re-signed RJ. And he said RJ is a cornerstone of the franchise. We traded for the best point guard on the market in Jalen Brunson, which he did. You think about Brunson, and this may sound crazy to some of y'all, and I can understand if you think I'm crazy on this, because this is my opinion. Brunson reminds me, in terms of his effect that I think he's going to have on the Knicks, he reminds me of the basketball version of Derek Jeter. You already know Derek Jeter. He's a Yankee legend, right? Derek Jeter hit 3,000 hits. He batted .310 for his career. He had golden gloves and all that. But really, when you look at Derek Jeter, what do you first think? Champion, right? Champion, like winner. Like if he's on your team, you have you're going to be in the thick of it because Derek Jeter's on your team. It ain't like he's going to hit 50 home runs or steal 40 or 50 bases, but because he's a winner, you're going to be in the thick of it when you got Derek Jeter. And if the game is tight, you're confident because Derek Jeter's on your team. And I'm feeling the same thing about Brunson. He got that winning DNA. Y'all feeling me? He got that winning DNA. That because he's the one that's going to have the ball in his hand. He's won in high school. He's won in college. He daggone near took Dallas to beat Golden State by himself. You're going to be in good hands with this young man. He's not as flashy, he's not the flashy point guard type that's going to drop 30 a game, right? He's not that dude. But one thing, if he's on your team, you feel good about winning. That's what I think. When I think of him, that's what I think of. For some reason, he reminds me of a Derek Jeter. And I'm like, I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like when we got him at the helm, he's going to make everybody better. He's going to take charge. And when the game is tight and you need a bucket or you need a stop, I feel confident because he's on the floor. I feel confident. Thank you for the $5 super chat. 21-8. Paying attention to those names. Development means finding out what we have and learning how to win games with them. The program to make them better. That's right. And he mentioned this. The Don mentioned this several times. We're going to keep with our program. We're going to keep what we have, develop what we have, and we're going to stand with our program. Okay. So we kind of know, Brunson. And then, wait, did you hear him mention training camp competition? Did you hear him mention training camp competition? And they asked him specifically, Alan Hahn asked him about Cam Reddish. He asked him about Cam Reddish. And you know what the Don said, among other things. He talked about how Cam Reddish, he met with Cam Reddish, and some of y'all seen Cam Reddish and him sitting together on Summer League. Y'all remember that, right? He was in Las Vegas with Cam Reddish. And he said Cam has been in New York all summer working on his game and in Philadelphia with his people where he's from, working on his game, getting his body back. And the last thing that Don said, which I found to be hopeful, helpful, and significant. Can't wait till Tuesday when that competition starts. Did y'all see that? He said, can't wait till Tuesday when he starts competing for the minutes. Listen, I told y'all, man, don't sleep on Cam. The only issue with Mr. Reddish is can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? Because if this young man comes to camp and he's healthy, the spot's going to be his because he's going to ball out. I mean, the boy got talent, period. He got talent. More talent than anybody at the three. Some people got all offended when I said he got more talent than RJ. He's not a better player than RJ. Some of y'all, you know what? First, let's do some of this. Let's get some Q-tips. Get them ears cleaned out. Slow your roll a little bit. I said he has more talent, more natural talent. RJ's the more accomplished player. That's obvious. RJ's been, one of the Iron Men in the NBA for the last 3 years. But I'm talking about natural ability. You hear what I'm saying? Y'all see the difference between an accomplished player and a guy with ability and talent, right? So Cam is a natural talent as far as the Knicks roster. There's nobody on the Knicks that has that kind of talent. This young man is a talented ball player. Well, the thing is, I was not into the Jalen Brunson move. You know why? Because I'm very zealous, and I admit it, for IQ and Deuce especially to play. Okay, I ain't gonna front. I'm very zealous for my man Deuce McBride to get the ball. Very zealous of that. So yes, I was defensive against anybody that was coming in to threaten that. But I'm also a realist, and I don't like looking back with regret. I don't like doing it. So once they decided on JB, okay, We got him. He's wearing orange and blue, and I'm all in. See? So it wasn't like I didn't believe Jalen Brunson was. I didn't believe he was worth $100 million. I ain't gonna front. I told you, I think 85. I thought 80, maybe, right? I didn't think 100, but looking at the landscape with the increasing salary cap coming and a new deal coming up in 2 seasons, okay. But now that he's wearing orange and blue, I'm all in. I mean, I'm all in. He's a Knick, man. Once a Knick, always a Knick, right? So he's a Knick, and I'm all in. He's on my team now. So, but Cam Reddish. If Cam Reddish, and this is the thing, I really believe, listen, look at this. I think we can all agree, right? There's no competition to see who the starting point guard is, right? There's no competition as to who the starting point guard is. It's going to be Jalen Brunson. There's no competition. He's getting the ball. He's got the keys. That's it, right? There's no competition as to who the starting center is. It's Mitchell Robinson. He's walking into camp. He's the starting center. Just put that on the wall. He's the starting center, and Jalen Brunson is the starting point guard, right? There's no competition as to if RJ is starting. He's starting. So you got Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Mitchell. I have to admit, I'm being real. As much as I want Obi Toppin to start, no, Julius Randle is going to start at the 4, right? So you got Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle. Those are 4. The only question, and my man Leon, he spoke about competition 2 or 3 times during the course of this thing. There's going to be a lot of competition. THIBS said everybody has a clean slate. No, he's talking about the 2 spot. He's talking about the 2 spot. So you're dealing with Cam, Grimes, and Fournier. Now, if I had to go by Tibbs's favorites, I would say it's Grimes, right? I would say it's Grimes, right? Because he loves Tibbs. I mean, Tibbs loves him. Tibbs pushed for him. He's a 2-way player, no doubt. The Knicks drafted him in the first round, no doubt. So there's all kinds of reasons why you could say, it's Grimes. There's all kinds of reasons, and I really believe it. But if you're gonna go with the dude that's the best in terms of who shows out in camp, who shows out in camp, who is the best talent that's gonna combine with them other 4 dudes so you can win? I think y'all know, man. We did the thing the other day. We did it, right? It's Cam. It's Cam. It's Cam. You're gonna start Cam. So, but look here. Let's say it's either Cam or Grimes, and the other one's coming off the bench. I think we can all agree Fournier is not starting. And not only that, they ain't even mention old Frenchie. They ain't even mention old Frenchie, man. They ain't even mention wee. They did not. No. They didn't do it. I think of something. I wouldn't be surprised if something was in the works. Because the thing is like this. I don't think Frenchie wants to come off the bench. I don't think he'll be happy coming off the bench, even though I think Frenchie would be excellent off the bench. I think Frenchie would be excellent off the bench. Oh, Andrew Abraham asked if Randall's playing good, would you trade him? Yeah. We're going to talk about everyone, but did you see how he handled the Randall situation? It's really cool how he handled the Randall question, okay? And that was at the end, okay? That was at the end. We're going to talk about that. But Cam is in, and I have a feeling Fournier is out. I think that's what we're saying. Cam is in, and Fournier is out. That's what we're saying. I think Frenchie is out, and Cam, unless Cam gets hurt, Cam is in. Okay? All right. Then he was asked directly about tampering, and of course, he emphatically said no, there was no tampering. I think Leon Rose is too smart to get caught with tampering. Obviously, he's an intelligent man. I don't think he's that stupid to skirt the league rules and let himself get caught doing it. So the tampering thing, I think, is, again, you heard Berman and every time they could lose a first round pick. You heard that foolishness? They could lose a first round pick for tampering with Jalen Brunson. I mean, come on, man. Anything to sell a newspaper. Oh my gosh, man. What? Nah. So Mitch Rob is going to be a major piece. He talked about Hartenstein, right? He talked about Hartenstein. So they re-signed Mitch Rob. They re-signed RJ. They traded for Brunson. They get Isaiah Hartenstein. And I think Hartenstein's going to be, I think we can agree Hartenstein's going to be a really sneaky good signing for the Knicks. I think he's going to play very, very well off of Tom Thibodeau's bench this year. I think Hartenstein is going to fill in very well for Mitch. And, I think he's going to do very well this year. No, he can't start, Pudge. He's not going to start. Because who are we going to start over? Obi? Mitch Rob? Come on, man. No. Let's not get crazy. But I think him playing that backup role to Mitch, he's going to start some games because it's an 82-game season. So he's going to start some games. Mitch probably twists his ankle or whatever. And he's going to start some games. And you're going to have Jericho coming in. We are pretty well stacked at the 5. I think we're really good at the 5. And so, I'm liking that. Okay. No, Mitch is the starter. Listen, man, y'all, don't get caught up in the flash and dash of the offense, y'all. Defense wins championships. You get chips by playing high level defense. That's Mitch Rob. Okay. That's Mitch Rob. All right. So we good. And if Hartenstein can play 20 minutes a game and come in and do his thing, please, we good. Okay. We good. So that's that. And I like the Hartenstein signing. Okay. What else did he do? He gave THIBS all the confidence and assurance in the world. Y'all caught that? THIBS ain't going nowhere. At least not this year, y'all. He ain't going nowhere. Apparently, Worldwide West is not with that. But apparently, and did you see what Rose said at the end of the conversation? The buck stops with him. The Don said, I make the final decisions. Yes, I have everybody I'm consulting with. I make the final decisions. And he does. So all of these fools out here talking about, well, he sent this guy to negotiate for the Knicks, and this guy doesn't know what he's doing, blah, 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 as if, the Don had nothing to do with the negotiation. Some people just stupid. Some people just stupid. And they just put stuff out there so people can click on it. It's just stupid. Don said that decisions start with me. And he's right. And THIBS is his coach. Now, we all got issues with THIBS. I ain't going to front. We all do. But THIBS is his coach. Now, I also believe that, in fact, he said during the interview that he and THIBS have talked. Because Alan Hahn said like this, is there an edict to play the young players this year? And he said, edict? No, there's no edict. Because the Don ain't going to run things like that. Like I'm this dictator and you're going to do what I say. He going to play it easy. He said, no. THIBS makes the rotation. THIBS gives the minutes. THIBS tells us who's playing. He's smart like that. He's not going to, So THIBS is not on the hot seat, but his tools, his starting point guard of Alec Burks is gone. Kemba Walker is gone. Nerlens Noel is gone. You got Jalen Brunson. He's got enough tools now. There's no excuses. Exactly, Pudge Night. There's no excuses. He got to come through. He got to come correct. And that starting wing position is open competition. So it's going to be very interesting. The training camp, I'm going to be reading very closely about any training camp news and that first preseason game a week from Tuesday. Very important because you're going to see your starting two guard, whatever comes out. Okay. So we'll see, but he's not on the hot seat right now. The Don has given him, and he said, full autonomy. So all that means is you got a lot of autonomy and power to either sink or swim, right? Right? So THIBS has been given a lease on life. he better come correct. And I have to be honest, by taking away, to me, the Burks trade helps a lot. The Burks trade helps a lot. You know why? Because now he can't say Burks is my only point guard. He got Jalen Brunson now. And he's got IQ as the backup. He's got Deuce back there. And let's talk about this other man that was brought up that Rose said, oh, you forgot about him? I ain't forgot about him. We're talking about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is in the best shape of his career since he was a young man. He's going to be 34 this year. So don't expect Derrick Rose to be MVP level Derrick Rose. But for 15 to 20 minutes a game, I think he will be. I think he will be. So for 15 to 20 minutes a game, Derrick Rose is going to be Derrick Rose. So I expect to see Rose and Quick in the backcourt together. And we've seen that before. So I'm expecting to see Rose and Quick in the backcourt together, doing things, okay? Doing their business, okay? So, yeah, I think they're going to be all right, though. I think they're going to be good. So, Obi's going to get more minutes. I'm just trying to figure out how with Randle there, which brings me to Julius Randle. So let's talk about now. Let's not talk speculation, right? Let's talk facts about Julius Randle. Leon said that Randle's in tremendous shape and he's ready to go. He expects Randle to have a big year, right? Also, was it facts or was it not that they could not trade Randle without attaching a pick to him? Isn't that correct? Isn't that correct? They could not trade Julius Randle without attaching a pick to him. So now, when you look at all of that, look at these things now. You can't trade him unless you attach a pick to him. He's in phenomenal shape and you're expecting a big year from him. What does that tell you? Could it be that they are trying to what? Increase his value? Could it be that they're trying to increase his value and create a market for Julius Randle by increasing his value? So someone asked, I think it was Abraham, Andrew, I think you asked it, right? He said, what do you think if he plays well, they'll trade? Yes. I think that the Dom played the interview so cool. I am really I'm very happy that they're not letting the media into there except one guy from MSG. I'm very happy to do that. You know why? I mean, do we really need to hear the Don say, I can't speak on players that are under contract with another team 10 different times from 10 different dudes that ain't heard the first answer? Because that's what it'll be, right? That's what it'll be. It'll be stupid. So forget it. He puts out what he wants y'all to know. That's right. He said the shop is not closed. And he never mentioned Evan Fournier. Never mentioned Evan Fournier once. Not once. Not once. And Ian Begley, y'all saw the other day, Begley said there's a 40% chance Randle gets traded before the season starts. 40% chance. Gary Joseph, my man, we here. People hit those. Thank you, my man. Gary Joseph with $20 super chat. Thank you, my brother. Man. Yeah, so I don't think Fournier's long for the Knicks. And I don't know about Randle, but I think they're trying to increase his value. Yeah, so I think they're trying to increase his value. And if they can do that, they'll trade him. This is the ideal situation from what I'm sitting. And tell me what y'all think. Both Obi and Randle play well. Obi plays well coming off the bench, and Randle plays well in the starting unit. That way, you're not missing anything when you trade Randle, right? That makes sense. You're 2189, $5 super chat. Thank you. Physical shape is not what we really need from Randle. That's right. It's him watching film and learning breathing. That's right. It's smart. That's right. Randle never impressed me with his shape. He's always in shape. The dude is a brick house, man. He's always in shape. The problem with Randle is between his ears. It's between his ears. It's the mental game. A guy like Kobe, rest in peace, would get in Randle's head every time they play. Right? A guy like Kobe getting Randle's head every time they play. I mean, Rudy Gobert wasn't even trying to get in his head, and Randle started acting the fool in Utah. Okay? And the young boy that was playing, I forgot his name, but this young kid in Phoenix got in his head. And the refs get in his head. Rudy Woodpecker, thanks for the $5 super chat. Where is Obi minutes coming from? This is a good question. I don't know, Woody. That's a good question. Woody Woodpecker asked, where is Obi's minutes coming from? Especially if Ian said they're talking about having an expanded role for him. That's a good question. I don't know. There's only 48 minutes you can play at the power forward spot. And THIBS plays Randle 30, 35. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. This is going to be interesting. We're going to see Cam Johnson. That's right. Cam Johnson got in his head. Referees get in his head. It ain't about his physical ability. We know the boy is talented, but dang, it don't take much to get in his head, man. He start tripping. Yeah, Cam Johnson got in his head. Rudy Gobert wasn't even trying and got in his head. I mean, the assistant coach got in his head for pulling up the laptop. Yeah, that's exactly right. Kareem said, thanks for the $2. He said, we already in his head rent free. That's right. So I don't know. I mean, we're going to see. But that's an excellent question, brother just asked. Woody Woodpecker said, well, where's Obi's minutes coming from? That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question. But we all agree he needs more minutes, right? I mean, I think he needs at least 20 minutes a game, right? 20, 25, right? For Obi. And you still got Cam and you still got Grimes. See, that's what I'm saying. Evan Fournier, I mean, I'm not saying he a scrub, but he got to go. How you going to get these kids minutes with all of that? Yeah. So, right. Guilford McCormick, that's one of the hopes for Jalen Brunson. That Jalen Brunson will take over this team as the leader, the leader of this team. And as the, you know what, I know he has to earn it, but after this season, if he does what I think he's going to do, make him the captain, and make him the leader, you know, and he's the leader of the team. It's his basketball, boom. And he'll put everybody in place. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. So I don't know who you're talking about, Silver Surfer, who never had value. I'm not sure who you're talking about. But anyway, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So D Rose, he said he's looking for D Rose to play a major, role this year, which is good. Shalom, Kareem Grant, peace, Jeffrey Clafter. Yeah, I think Frenchie will be gone, man. I think Frenchie should be gone before the All-Star break because he's going to be upset if he's not starting, right? Which he shouldn't be because Cam is more talented than him. So he shouldn't be upset. So and honestly, again, I'm always talking about Julius Randle's losing record, whatever team he's on, right? Look at Frenchie's record. I mean, he was on Magic. I think they went to the playoffs once. He was on a stacked team in Boston, and they disappointed between him and Kemba. Nah. He's a bench piece on a playoff team. Would y'all agree? I think Fournier is a bench piece on a playoff team. He's a shooter off the bench on a playoff team. Really, I don't think he's a starter on a playoff team. I don't think he's a starter on the playoff team. So he talked about Randle. That tells me, the way he handled the Randle question tells me that Randle's still on the market. Randle's on the trade market, and Evan Fournier's on the trade market. Now, whether they get something done, I don't know, but they're both on the trade market. And then they asked him about the Eastern Conference being stacked. Now, we know the Eastern Conference is stacked, but I told y'all, if they start Cam and put RJ at the 2, 6 seed, book it, 6 seed. And I don't care who got to step down, but somebody losing a spot in the top 6, because here we come, right? So he asked the Don, what are your expectations, for the Knicks and Eastern Conference? And I loved his answer. He said, we're going to play with a high level of energy every night. We're going to bring 100% effort every night and let the chips fall where they may. Listen, you can't ask for more than that. If the Knicks do that and see, this is the thing. We talked about the risks. The risk to the Knicks season, Randle's mental case was one. THIBS rotations was the other. Didn't we say that? THIBS rotations, whatever, I don't know what he's going to do. But that's going to be a key here. To me, and again, I'm not the coach, But if it was RJ and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt, Reddish, Mitch Rob, and even with Randle across the front line, tag on, this team is going to be good. And you telling me you got IQ, D Rose, Grimes coming off your bench with Obi Toppin? I think this year the Knicks got something, man. The Knicks got something. I'm very excited. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. That's the thing. I don't want anybody to get hurt. And that's what's important to. Now, seriously though, the higher the probability of you working out hard and coming in shape, into camp in shape, the lower the chance you're going to get hurt. Right? So the better shape you're in when you come into camp, you're a lower probability to get hurt. And all of these kids are in shape this year. So it's good. 2189. Thanks for the $2 super chat. Vets are untraded. We showcase their piece potency there. Yeah. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens with Fournier. I just don't want to see Fournier getting in the way of Cam and Grimes. That's my biggest issue. Just like what my biggest issue was with Brunson. I didn't want Brunson getting in the way of Emmanuel Quickley and Dukes. And also, there was something very also interesting said by Leon. He said that the position we needed the most was a starting point guard. I think, tell me what y'all think. If I'm Quickley, I'm offended by that. If I'm Quickley, I'm offended by that. I don't like that. If I'm Quickley. You mean you don't consider me a starting point guard? If I'm Quickley. Well, no, Deuce, I'm good with Deuce where he is. You know why, Lucas? I'm good with Deuce where he is. They're looking at Deuce next year. Deuce is going to take it personally, but it's okay. I'm not worried about Deuce. I'm not. Deuce will be there next year. Because next year, the Knicks have to decide on Quickley's extension. And it is my strong belief that Quickley thinks he's a starting NBA point guard. What do y'all think? We talked about this before. I think Quickley believes that he's a starting NBA point guard, that he's a starting guard in the NBA. And I think there'll be another team that also believes that. Okay, there's another team that also believes Emmanuel Quickley's a starting guard. And when it's time to get an extension, somebody's going to pay him to do that. That's all I'm saying. Whether I think he is or not, I'm just saying that's not what I'm bringing forward. What I'm saying to y'all is there's another team out there that's going to say, yeah, we think this guy's a starting guard in the NBA. And they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him. And he's going to go. Because to the Knicks, he's a sixth man. And I think that's his perfect position. Sixth man, right? I think that's his perfect position, sixth man, Emmanuel Quickley, right? But his situation is a lot like Scary Terry. Scary Terry was the sixth man in Boston when Kyrie Irving came there. Scary Terry wanted to start. Boston was willing to offer him six-man money. But the Knicks in Charlotte said, no, we think you could start. And he ended up going to Charlotte. IQ is in a similar situation. Yes, no, you're right, Andrew. He has 2 more years on his deal. Deuce does. But Quick has 1 more year. And so they have to decide on Quick next year. They got to decide what they're going to do. And so I can see him going in a signing trade, which is why I'm not worried about. And then look here. So next year, D Rose is an expiring deal. If Quick goes in free agency or via a sign and trade, who's the backup point guard? Are you ready? Yeah, okay. Next year, Quick says, I'm a starting point guard. Let's say Houston. Or let's say Dallas say, we'll let you play next to Luka Doncic. He's gone. So then Rose is expiring. So what happens now? Deuce is there. That's right. I'm not worried about Deuce. I'm not. 2189, thanks again for the super chat. Teams think Quick is a point guard. I sell him at that price. That's right. But he could go. And listen here. Miami needs a point guard. Miami needs a point guard. Because my man is old, man. Talking about somebody that's past his prime. He's 36, this dude. You know what I'm talking about, right? The dude that they got from Toronto there? He's 36. Lowry, he's 36. He's already breaking down. He's already looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy. They need a point guard. Listen here. I'm thinking it's a very strong possibility that Emmanuel Quickley takes the money and run. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think there is. So that's why I'm not worried about Deuce. Not worried about Deuce at all. No. Not worried about Deuce. Is Lowry looking slim and Mana? I don't know. Dude look like he ate too many donuts. Let me take a look. Kyle Lowry. Let's take a look. Kyle Lowry. Let's take a look at what he look like now. Let's see. You say he looking slim? Is he? Let's see what he looking like, man. I don't know, my man. I don't know. He still look like the Doughboy to me. I don't know. We got to see what happened. But he still look like the Doughboy to me. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Right now, because Lowry's generally been a good defender, even for his size. He was, I think he is. But anyway, I wouldn't say trash. Now the boy got a ring. I wouldn't say trash. He is making $90 million. I wouldn't say trash. I would not mind switching places with him. Let me tell you. But they're going to need a point guard. So you got Miami, you got Dallas, you got Houston. I can keep naming some teams that'll be interested in one Emmanuel Quickley when it comes time. Okay. No, I'm not blaming him at all. I'm not blaming him. Somebody asked me about Deuce, and I'm not worried about Deuce because Deuce gonna get his opportunity next year because Rose is expiring, and I think Quick is gonna be gone. And Rokas might show up next year too. Yeah, yep. Right, but THIBS, where Rokas gonna be on the totem pole. THIBS, where Rokas gonna be on the totem pole, man. Come on, yeah, we good. I'm not worried about Deuce at all, man. And it's a long season, so let's see what happens. It's a long season, 82 games. It's a long season. Well, Sincere the genius. Why you say that? What you think, he going to not take money because he loves Tom Thibodeau? What, he going to hang on to Tom Thibodeau and give up money? So you telling me the Knicks will offer him coming off the bench $60 million and some team might say, no, we'll give you $90 million to start for us. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't just say blanket, he's going to stay there. This ain't college. This is the league, man. You got to get paid. You got to get paid. It's time to get paid. So dudes ain't gonna be in there because I like the coach and I'm gonna be at Kentucky because I like John Calipari. All right, that's cool. But when you get in the league, it's about the loot, man. It's about the loot. Quickley's about to get paid. He's on a $2 million a year deal right now. So he's looking for some money. So when it comes down to next year to extend him, Quick's gonna be a restricted free agent next year. He's gonna be a restricted free agent if they don't extend him. They can give him the qualifying offer. He'll be restricted, yeah. But if he's not going to sign, then it'll be a sign and trade. They'll do a sign and trade. The Don ain't gonna let him walk for nothing. I mean, y'all know that. That ain't happening. So it'll be a sign and trade, right? So I'm not worried about Deuce. I'm not worried about Deuce at all. Because Jalen Brunson's here, and Quick is not going to be the starting point guard. And that's going to bother him. Okay? That's going to bother him. That's going to bother him. No, this is his third season, Diamond. Next year is his fourth season. Well, he'll be a totally restricted year, but he can sign an extension next year. Just like he could sign an extension next year if they want him. If he doesn't. Yeah, I think you're right, Abraham. I agree. I agree with that. Let's see. I don't think they're trading him now. I think they got to let him showcase a little bit more. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Unless they were going to include him in a Randle deal. If they were going to include Quickley in a Randle deal. I don't know. We have to see. IQ has two more. This is IQ's third season. Rookies are on a 4-year deal. So after this season, he'll be in his fourth season, like RJ. And you can decide then to extend him or not. And you don't have to extend him. You can wait all the way to the following year. And then You can be you can give him a qualifying offer, or he can be a restricted free agent. You could do that. But if you know he wants to leave because he's not going to get a chance to start, then you might do something next summer. Okay. And if the Knicks, like, there's all kinds, there might be a player the Knicks want that team is willing to give up for IQ, and you can get a sign and trade done. So there's situations now. It could come down to that. I wouldn't be surprised, because to me, the linchpin is, and I believe, I think Emmanuel Quickley is a natural sixth man, but I think he wants to be a starter, and I think he wants to get starters money. Whereas there's a difference between six-man money and starters money. Y'all know that, right? So you're the starting guard, whether it be off guard or two guard, you get certain more money than if you're the sixth man, no matter how good a sixth man you are. Six men don't make the money that the starters make. So they want the starters money. Okay, y'all gotta remember the business now. This is business. Okay, this is business. Sincere, the genius, you're missing the point. I don't care what THIBS want. Come on. Sincere, the genius. Think, if you were Emmanuel Quickley, would you want 60 million or 90 million? That's a simple question. Would you want 60 million or 90 million? That's what we're talking about here. So if you're Emmanuel Quickley and the Houston Rockets are going to pay you $90 million, you're going to say, oh, I love THIBS too much. I'll take the 30 million pay cut. Come on, man. Come on, man. Bones Highland is a lot like Quickley. I think Maxi's better than both of them. I think Maxi's better than Quickley and Highland. But Highland's a lot like Quickley. Denver got Highland a lot like Quickley. Where did they say the same thing about Jalen Brunson? How many people really thought he was going to get $100 million? Right? How many people really thought tell me now, did you really believe Jalen Brunson was going to get $100 million? Did you think Jalen Brunson was going to get $100 million? Who thought Jalen Brunson was going to get $100 million? Yeah, exactly. 2029. So who asked you, so steak or Slim Jims, what you going to eat? Right. Nobody thought Jalen Brunson was going to get $100 million. So don't tell me that Emmanuel Quickley can't show up and get $90 million next year. Don't. Come on now. It's the league. People trying to get paid here. Okay. So, yeah, that's right. Once he scores 40 in the play, that's right. He earned that money. That's right. Azadope, you're right. I think Quickley could do the same thing. Y'all telling me Quickley is not capable of dropping 40? Y'all think he is? I think he is. I think Quick is capable of dropping 40. I think he is. I think he's very capable of dropping 40. Okay, so I wouldn't sleep on IQ. I would not sleep on him. He's capable of dropping 40, and he's capable of doing it in the playoffs. Okay, he's capable of doing it. So I would not sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. And I'm a deuce hive, and I'm telling you, don't sleep on Emmanuel Quickley. Okay. Sincere the genius, come on, man, with that New York make the difference stuff up, man. Texas don't have no income tax. Come on, man. Come on, man. I know I love Emmanuel Quickley. I'm trying to be real with y'all, though. Y'all don't want to be real. Y'all want to still stay in fantasy world. Next year, if they don't extend Emmanuel Quickley to the money he wants, he's going to look elsewhere. Okay? That's going to happen. All right? So, I'm not worried about Deuce this year. I really not. I just want him to stay ready. He's going to be getting his opportunity. I'm not worried about him. I'm not. It's an 82-game season. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I'm going to let Deuce be. You don't see me tripping about Deuce. He's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. Well, they're going to trade Randle. They're trying to build his value up. That's what they're doing right now. They're trying to build up his value. As soon as he can play at a high level again, without having people get in his head for 5 minutes, he's going to be traded. Ooh, Grimes is garbage. What, you a sophomore in high school? Come on, baby. What you talking about? Grimes ain't no garbage. What's wrong with you? And I'm Deuce High. Grimes is garbage. What's wrong with you? Stop tripping, man. Sure. This ain't junior high school. This the league. Grimes can play. You crazy? Yep, Obi's contract coming up next year. I'm not worried about that one, though. As I said, I think they're going to trade Randle. I'm not worried about it. Not worried about that either. The contract of Randle, though, it is more difficult to move than I thought it was going to be. It's more difficult to move than I thought. Yeah, it's more difficult. Yeah, you need something, 2189, meditation or something. You need to read Phil Jackson's book on the Zen or something. You need something. Yeah, Grimes is trash. Like, what? He must be some kid, man. You got to be kidding me. He said Grimes is trash because he only averaged 6 points per game. Oh, I get it. It's the NBA 2K crowd. I get it. The NBA 2K crowd. I look at the stats and now I know how he plays. Oh, I see. I got you. Oh, my gosh. I look at the stats and I know all about him now. You see what we got to put up with, Knicks Nation. You see what we got to deal with. Anyway, so that was, I found that very interesting. So I'm thinking Fournier probably gets traded. And I'm thinking it could happen before the first game of the season. But even if he doesn't get traded, he's not starting. And I think y'all can bear witness. Have I not been consistent with that statement the whole summer? I've been telling you, Fournier's not starting. Fournier's not starting. Some of y'all say, no, you crazy. Fournier's not starting. Nope, Fournier's not starting. Fournier's not starting. Fournier will not start this year. I told you that. Some of y'all don't want to hear my man Ian Begley when he says the front office has a problem with a Fournier Brunson backcourt. Some of y'all don't want to hear it. But I'm trying to tell you. Never mentioned Fournier by name in the whole interview. Never mentioned him. Never talked about it. Never said anything. He's not starting. He's not starting. And they already know it. They already know it. This competition between Cam and Grimes, they already know it. And you know what? They're already trying to trade him. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, right, Jabroni, right. I guess Kobe was trash, huh? I guess Kobe must have been trash then. Anyway. Yeah, the shop is still open. That's right. Oh, you did on Twitter, Abraham? That's cool. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's good. Man, you know, they were supposed to have Ian on Nick of Time the other night. I missed it. Did they have, was Ian on Nick of Time the other night? Was Ian out there with them on Nick of Time? Kobe dead. Oh, man, wait. No, this mofo. Here, let me get rid of this dude right here. Now you done crossed the line, bro. Yeah, I know you about 15 with pimples and all that, but you ain't got to come on here acting like some teeny bopper and mess with them little childish foolishness. Kobe dead. You dead on this channel now. What you think about that? Shoot. Yeah, man. What's wrong with you? Shoot. Kobe dead. Man, go. My goodness, man. I mean, what? And I was, kind of like, okay, you saying Grimes is trash. You may not know Jimbo, but then Kobe dead? And probably don't even understand what's wrong with that statement. So, thanks. Personally, I'm more of an NBA Jam guy. Oh, man. All right. So this week, I'm going to be on a little bit more because of training camp. I'm expecting myself to be because training camp is out. There's a lot more to talk about. And there's going to be some heated competition. I'm really looking forward to seeing my man Cam do his thing. I'm pulling, and listen, I'm Deuce Hive. Y'all know I'm Mitch Rob Hive. Those are my dudes. But I'm Cam Hive too now. I'm pulling for Cam. I want to see Cam become successful. I want Cam to show out. Why? Because if Cam is the starting three, succeed. If Cam is the starting three, succeed. Repeat after me. If Cam starts at the 3 and RJ starts at the 2, 6, C. That's right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's media day tomorrow, Blake. Okay, media day's tomorrow. Okay. Yep, media day's tomorrow. Okay. I'm pulling for my man Cam. Cam. Let's do it. I want to see Cam. See, I'm happy that Jalen Brunson is the starting point guard. I was all in on Deuce High, but we got him. So let's play him. Okay, I have no problem with that. But now there's an opening on the wing, and we got Cam Reddish on our team. And I'm telling you, the young man has more talent than many people see. I'm telling you. Let's do Cam, baby. Yeah, Don Hines, but it's an 82-game season. You got to expect Mitch Rob's going to miss 10 games. That means Hartenstein's going to come in and play starting minutes, and then you're going to have Jericho. So all of those guys will get minutes at the 5. Everybody at the 5 will play this year. I'm telling you, they're all going to play. You know, they're all going to play. So they're all going to play. Nobody from the 5s are going to sit. Everybody's going to play. You know, so Mitch Rob will get his, you know, he'll play 70 games, hopefully. Then you have 12 games where you're going to be playing Hartenstein. Then Hartenstein might get hurt. You're going to get Jericho. Everybody's going to play. Okay, everybody's going to play. You know, Jabroni asked how many assists do I think JB will average? I don't know. And I actually don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. I just know he's going to help us win, right? I can't tell you how much he's going to do as far as scoring or assists. I don't really know what that's going to look like. It depends on what scheme THIBS is running, which I hope he runs something decent this year. But if he does, I just think we're going to win. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Brunson get the assist Julius was getting last year because he was, you know, handling the ball so much. I'd like to see Brunson have that, so we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, wootsy. I got company coming over today. I got to get some steaks in the oven. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun, as we always do. Bodega, what's up, my man Bodega? What's up? And we are going to, and I didn't even mention in this, I didn't even mention Monica Net, the whole program today. I didn't even mention that name today. Shalom to y'all. Y'all, please be safe out there. Be safe out there. We'll definitely be back. It's on this week. It's on this week. And we all excited, man. We're going to see what happens. Y'all be safe. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Shalom. Monica McNutt is not ugly, man. No, she is not. Cute sister right there. Tall, but she's a cute sister.